We've all heard it. It's all about experiences. We don't want events anymore. We want experiences. Okay, but what does that mean? And how can you elevate your event to a memorable experience? Let's find out in this video. This video today is brought to you by TISO, the International School of Hospitality. Learn from event pros, become one yourself. I recently rebumped on an article from 20 years ago from the Harvard Business Review about the experience economy. This article conceptualized 20 years ago what is happening right now and what everybody in the service sector is talking about. The dominance of experiences over mere service is a concept that everybody agrees on in the hospitality industry, whether it's hotels or events and meetings. We all agree that just providing a simple service doesn't cut it anymore these days. We have to step it up. We have to make our events memorable. We have to make them experiences, hence the term the experience economy. When we refer to experiences in an event environment, really the concept that applies the most is the concept of customer experiences in a brand or marketing environment. This is the closest to an event because events have a clear objective in mind. They have to change behavior of the attendees. Whether it's a non-profit, whether it's for-profit, whether it's a meeting, whether it's about entertaining, whether it's about educating, we always have a clear objective in mind. And when this objective in mind, we can really align any event experience to a brand or product experience when we're making a decision to purchase or we interact with a brand. So first concept to have in mind, customer experience is the concept that we have to stick in our head when we're thinking about experiences in an event environment. To really understand better what experiences are made of, we really have to look at a very simple concept called touchpoints. Touchpoints are usually the interactions a customer or an event attendee has with the brand or with the event or with the event planner or with the staff or with whatever you set up in an event environment. Any interaction between the two is a touchpoint. So let's take a simple, clear example of an event. If you want to purchase a ticket for an event, if you're visiting the website, that's a touchpoint. If you're asking where the restrooms are on the show floor, that's a touch point with the event. If you are looking at your program on a printed schedule, that's a touch point. If you're attending a session from a speaker, that's a touch point. If you're listening to a performer in a music festival, that's a touch point. But also going beyond the event, if I'm looking on a video recap or a review of the event made by an event team on their blog or on their YouTube channel, that's a touch point. So what really an experience is, it's a sum of all these interactions over a long period of time. And this is a key concept because back in the days, the interactions, the experience was limited through the 2 or 3 days, the week of the event. And that was it, that was done. There wasn't much else you could have done in the 1990s to interact more with your attendees. That's why a lot of pressure developed for event professionals to perform over those 3 days. Well, I don't have good news for you because the interaction now, it's a year-long interaction. In fact, what social media and the internet has brought along in the event industry is really the impact on the life cycle of the event. And so if the touch points were limited to the event days back in the days, now the touch points are all year long. They are demanded over the whole year. We want more interaction with a Twitter account for a specific event. We want to feel part of the community of that event for the whole year. So let's talk about good versus bad experiences. What makes a good experience? What makes a bad experience? And this is where we introduce another concept, the concept of delight. Back in the days, service was measured as a level of satisfaction in the service that was provided. A few years ago, a lot of marketing experts said that satisfaction wasn't enough anymore. Delight was going to be the objective that we were having as event professionals whenever we wanted to make our customers happy or make them feel part of an experience. So a memorable event, an event that becomes an experience, it's an event that is being set up for success from day one from the event planner. We always talk about the attention to detail that event professionals have. Well, this is what we're talking about, making sure you're ready at each and every touch point. Whenever the customer is going to, or the attendee is going to interact with you, you're going to be ready. You're going to exceed expectations. Of course, we can prioritize some touch points. Of course, taking care of the safety of our attendees, making sure that there's food, there's, restrooms in a venue is really important. But can we really, we live in an age where information and content is readily available online. So as a result, attendees want more, and they will evaluate us on really the tiniest details. So things like how many plugs you have on a show floor, or all of a sudden becomes items for evaluation in how they perceive the overall event, and how, if they want to escalate it to experience status. Consistently, two means for customer delight at every touch point, and really the keys to make an event become an experience is how you deal with innovation and how you use innovation at all touch points. That doesn't mean technology, beware. That does mean how do you provide value, real value. Because delight is not just to provide what is expected, it's to give that unexpected twist that attendees are not waiting for, and really surprise them. That's where all of that goodness of social media effect happens. Another interesting concept is that experiences are not a matter of to-do lists or things you have to do to surprise your attendees. It's also about engagement. So enter one of the other biggest buzzwords that we have in the industry, engagement. Because if it's not all about experiences, it's going to be all about engagement. It's either or, right? We've heard all about it. What is engagement though, right? I actually provided definition of it in an event environment in the book Engaging Event. You can get it for free on eventmanagerblog.com. But yeah, we try to define what the weight of engagement is in the evaluation process of an event, and how we perceive the event to be an actual experience rather than just a conference we attended. So we enter a further element in the equation of how we evaluate events and how we perceive events. And this is engagement. And what we mean by that, most of the times, is how we interact with the brand. How the brand, how the event planner, how the staff, how the speakers, how the performers are interacting with us. How open they are to establish rapport, to create the basis of a relationship with us. I know it may seem a bit far off, but this is what we want right now. This is what our attendees are used to when they interact with bigger brands that have a culture for customer satisfaction. Interaction between you and the attendee. You have to be ready to be engaging, to listen, to ask questions, to involve the attendee in the planning and in the production and in making the event happen. But we need to add a further element to the equation, and this is interaction, engagement between and among attendees. Events are very unique in this sense. As an event professional, you are in charge of creating that connection. Sometimes you could use technology, for example, to make a match between attendees, or you can design your event, your space, to ensure that connection happens. You can think about creative ideas, innovative name tags, smart badges to connect attendees, because the more you foster and facilitate this connection, the more your attendees will remember your event and remember it most of all as an experience. Event professionals are the masters of the experience economy. We have been doing it for years, even when it wasn't fashionable. We have been instructing our suppliers, yes, hotels included, on how to deal with our guests and how to create that feeling of an experience. Because we're evaluated on a 3-day basis. We feel the pressure. We know we have to perform at every step of the way In each and every detail, we have to surprise them. So we are, as a profession, as an industry, at the forefront of this revolution. We have less time to impress our attendees. While you may go and have your shopping done every week, and your local supermarket has multiple opportunities to impress you, we don't have such luxury in events. We know how to impress people in a very short amount of time. But the fact that we are masters by nature in creating experiences doesn't make our job easier. Actually, our attendees require more. They evaluate experiences with even more attention to details. We have to compete with things such as online content, YouTube, especially if you work in the meeting and incentive sector. You will feel the pressure of the fact that I may actually watch a video instead of attending an event in person. So online, social networks, virtual reality now, and all these fancy things that try to mimic the interaction, the face-to-face interaction. Rest assured, there's no such thing as face-to-face. It will never replace face-to-face, but you need to step it up. Of all the things, more online interaction creates more need to meet in person. Concepts such as FOMO didn't exist 5 years ago. And this is in fact why very smart event professionals are really succeeding and selling out in a matter of minutes. They capitalize on engagement, they're ready at every step of the way, they take care of each and every detail, they create unexpected twists for their attendees, they know how to surprise them, how to delight them, they create memorable experiences. So in conclusion, as an event planner, you are at the forefront of this revolution. You will drive forward a rapidly expanding market. You have the tools, the stamina, the attention to details that is required to succeed in the experience economy. So now go out and plan memorable experiences. So that's it for me today. If you love this video, give us a like. I'm Giulio Solaris, your editor. Remember to subscribe to our page to get more videos like this. And until the next one, bye.